are back with another broadcasting microphone review. Talk about microphone video type thing, because that's what I do. I'm just going to be talking about this microphone, and it gives you an idea of whether this is right for you. Because if you've seen my previous video on the Rode Procaster, shove up there, ding, 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 that'll give you an idea of how this sounds in comparison to another microphone of the same budget. Around about 100 to 150, that's the budget we're looking at here. I primarily want this microphone for live streaming, and it will sound differently while live streaming, because when you live stream, your voice, video, everything gets compressed. It will not sound as good as it is sounding right now. I'm recording through a DAW. I hope I'm recording through a DAW. Yes, I'm recording through a DAW. It's always nice to double check. And so it will sound a little bit different. This is a dynamic broadcast microphone. Did I even introduce the microphone? It's a Presonus PD70, and it looks very much like the Shure SM7B. I think that's what it's supposed to look like. There's no bells and whistles on it. There's no buttons. There's nothing. You plug it in. That is it. There is a built-in pop filter, because that is how the microphone sounds on its own. Plosive-wise, Peter picked a peck of pickled peppers. It's not bad, actually. It's really not bad. Peter Piper picked a peck of peppers. Bring pizza pronto. Peter picked a peck of pickled peppers. Peter picked a peck of pickled peppers. Bring pizza pronto. It's not bad. It's very, very, very good. Noise rejection, not so good. So there we go. I don't want to. It doesn't have doesn't have a shock mount. So I'm trying to say, it doesn't have a shock mount. So, and I don't think you can get a shock mount for it. I don't think you can get a shock mount for it. That's all I'm saying. So don't hit the mic. Basically, don't hit the mic, or you will hear a thud knocking about on the desk and clicking the. I just realised I had stopped recording there. I turned my DAW off when I was pressing the buttons on the keyboard. Hope you've heard it anyway. What I'll do is I'll use the backup audio from what I'm recording this on live stream. Anyway, so you'll still be able to hear it a little bit. So yeah, so that is basically how it sounds. I'm just going to turn that down there so I can see myself and listen to myself at the same time. I like to do that. Is that bad? Is that bad? So anyway, this is how it sounds. I think it sounds. It's hard to tell on these headphones. These Sony, what are they called? 7506s. Because they aren't properly balanced. You hear a lot of treble, you hear a lot of bass. They sound amazing, but it's not what it'll sound like when I play it back. So it's hard to tell. But I do obviously I have used this for a wee while now, for a little while I should say. My Scottishness is coming out there. My little wee while, and I do know it's more high end, intensive, or centered towards the high end than the low end. But that's not a bad thing for me, because I've got quite a muddy. I wouldn't say bassy, but it's muddy. It's quite muddy. Does it have a proximity effect? That's a good question. This is me testing out the proximity effect, and I think it's quite subtle. So yeah, so there we are. It is £108, I think I got it for $108. It'll probably remember the same. Everything's the same in dollars these days anyway. And it is by Presonus, very, very well respected manufacturer of microphone. I want to talk about the room and also my voice, which is I touched on in the last video, and I'm going to repeat it now. How you will sound on a microphone, and I've learned this through my own experience, by the way. I'm not saying I'm an expert, but this is through my own experiences. What room you are recording it in. Is it a big room, small room, very small room? Are you recording in an attic, anything like that? Then it will have an effect on, just to make sure I was still recording there, I hit the keyboard. It will have an effect on how you sound. Like mine is treated, not majorly treated a little bit. I've got a double mattress right in front of me there. I've got some bass traps there, and I've also got a sound panel there. I've got some sound panels up there as well, or bass traps up there as well. So yes, it is treated to a certain degree. Another thing about a small room, this is only about 3 meters, something like that, 3 meters by 2.5 meters. It's standard single size bedroom in the UK. That means you can basically get a single bed in. You can't really get, if you put a double bed in, that's it. You know, it's taking up the whole room. So it's not a big room, but because of that, and if you treat it, there's a lot of bass build-up. You'll see that from a lot of my earlier videos in the last month or so. It'll be quite muddy. I've only just learned that myself and how to get rid of that. So hopefully it'll sound a little bit better in the future. So yeah, that's another thing you've got to consider, is what room you are recording in, and that is something that's not talked about enough, I think, in the review. The people that review microphones on a daily basis, they don't pick up on that. So I have fallen foul to that, thinking, wow, mine sounds a lot mud. Why does my voice sound so muddy? I was recording in a very small room, and I've now learned how to I keep hitting the keyboard. How to counteract that. That's what I'm trying to say. Counteract that. So yeah. So make sure you do a bit of research on what your room sounds like. I will be doing a test on how it sounds outside in an untreated room. You will hear that. That will be coming up. And here we are. Now we're recording in my echo chamber of a hall. It's just outside my office. Right, hopefully you won't hear too much of the noise of the cord, because if you touch the cord, there you go. Don't know why I did that. But yeah, you will hear it. So obviously you want to make sure this is on some sort of mount. Microphone stand or whatever. So yeah, here we are. This is how it sounds in a completely untreated room. It might be your room. I mean, in the day, if you've got an untreated room, you really want to buy a dynamic microphone. Do not buy a condenser microphone in a untreated room. If you want evidence, look at all of my videos from about 4 years ago, and you will hear the big difference in my audio, that is for sure. But anyway, so this is how it sounds, and I don't think it sounds that bad. I don't know. We'll find out, I suppose. There it was there. So now you understand what it sounds like in an untreated room. And yeah, I think this microphone's got a 2-year guarantee. The gain level, which I keep forgetting to talk about, it's very gain hungry. I'm recording this on a Moto M2. That's another thing. Your microphone will sound differently with using different audio interfaces. This is a Moto M2. The preamps are pretty good, so I've been told, and I have actually learned myself from the amount of money that I've spent on it. It's about 150, 160. So the preamps are actually very good on it. And it will sound differently if I record this on my 286S DBX 286S, which I'm not a terrible fan of. You'll sound a lot muddier. Doesn't sound as good. That's even with any effects on. So the preamps do make a difference. So that's the 3 things you've got to look out when you're buying a microphone. What are your preamps like in your audio interface, the room that you're recording it in, and your voice. Do you have a high voice? Is it full of sibilants? Is it muddy? Mine's muddy. I've learned that. It's taken me a good year, I think, to learn that. So it's certainly something to consider. I really am just rambling on here so you can get so you can dial in whether this microphone is good for you. And I will be doing a comparison video with the Rode Procaster and which I've just received today, by the way, the Sontronics Podcaster Pro. That is the box it was delivered in. Thank you, Amazon. So yeah, I'll be doing a review on that very, very shortly, and then I'll be doing a comparison video for all 3: the Rode Procaster, this Presonus PD70, and the Sontronics Podcast Pro. But I thought I'd give every microphone its own video, dedicated video. And I'll put the specs up. I think this is cardioid, super cardioid. I'll talk around the side of the mic right now, so you can see what the rejection is like. Front on microphone, as you'll know, down the side. There we go. I'll now speak, I don't know, 18 inches away. Don't recommend this. And now we are back. So there we go. Hopefully this will have given you an idea of what to expect if you bought this microphone. But the best, my advice, I'm no expert, but just my advice that I've learned from myself is there is no substitute for trying them out yourself. If there is a return window, use it. Buy a microphone, test it out. Buy another microphone, test it out, and return what you can, if you can afford to buy a couple of microphones, obviously. But if you can, even if you buy it and pay it up in credit, buy now, pay in a month's time, whatever. That way you can return it and not have to pay for it. Yeah, if you get my drift. Because that's my biggest advice, is try them out. And because you will find out which one is best for you. That's the only way you'll find out which one is best for you. And also make sure, and I'll put an unlisted video in the description for this, how it sounds live streaming. It will sound completely different live streaming. Especially if you want to use it as a live streaming mic, you have to test it out live streaming. And then because you'll probably watch your live stream videos back and go, it doesn't sound as good. It's compressed, so you have to take that into account. Right, so I've talked enough about it. Look, if you want to see the last video, it'll be in the little things up there, also on my channel, and I will be doing a video on the Sontronics Podcast Pro. Yes, Sontronics Podcast Pro, very, very shortly, so look out for that if you're interested. If not, thanks for watching, appreciate it. If you've made it this far, you are a legend. I'll see you later. Take care. Bye-bye.